60,000 years had passed since Earth was turned to dust. The memory of oceans, forests, children playing, and cities full of life had become nothing more than ancient digital records. But humanity never forgot. The pain lived in every generation, passed from one mind to another like a burning scar. Now, at the edge of the XYRTH Dominion, the empire that destroyed Earth, space rippled like a disturbed ocean. A massive shadow appeared first, then another, and then thousands more. A fleet of human warships exited a dark energy field and spread across the stars like a silent storm. Their ships were nothing like the old metal vessels humans once used. These ships were smooth black and covered in silver lines that glowed with quiet power. They looked alive, like creatures fused with technology. They moved without sound, bending gravity around them. Inside the largest ship, the flagship Revenant of Terra, stood Commander Ashen Calder. His eyes glowed with a faint silver hue, and his presence felt calm but dangerous. He was not like the humans of old Earth. His mind was sharper, faster. His body had evolved far beyond flesh. Yet, inside him lived the same human spirit, the same anger, the same hope. Calder looked at the floating hologram in front of him. It showed the alien empire's border defense fleet. Thousands of alien ships watched the humans, confused and afraid. "Status?" Calder asked. A nearby officer responded, voice steady but eyes burning with emotion. "All ships ready. No aggression yet. They are scanning us." Calder nodded slowly. "They will not understand what they see." The officer agreed. No science in the galaxy could understand human technology now. Humanity had changed while others stayed the same. Long ago, when Earth was destroyed, a small group of humans escaped into deep space. Instead of fading, they adapted. They studied dark matter, time, dimensions beyond normal space. Things other species fear to touch. They evolved minds that could think in ways no other civilization could match. And now, after 60,000 years, they had returned. A soft alarm sounded. "Commander," another officer said, "the alien fleet is powering weapons." Around the galaxy, the XYRTH Dominion trembled. Their leaders remembered the ancient attack, the day they destroyed Earth. Back then, humans were weak, primitive, and scattered. The aliens believed wiping them out was simple and permanent, but they were wrong. Calder raised his hand. "Open a channel. Every frequency. Every language." The officers obeyed. A deep silence filled the command deck. The message would not just be heard. It would echo through every alien world. Calder waited 3 seconds, letting the tension grow. Then he spoke, calm, controlled, terrifying. "To the XYRTH Dominion, humanity lives." All across alien space, panic spread. Calder continued, "You destroyed our home. You hunted our people. You believed we were gone. But we remember. We returned not as victims, but as judgment." The alien fleet trembled. Some ships backed away. Others aimed their weapons. Calder finished the message with cold certainty. "Your time has ended. You will answer for what you did to Earth." When the channel closed, the bridge remained silent. Every human on board felt the weight of the moment. Then Calder spoke again, quiet, final. "Prepare for engagement. But first, give them one chance." A pulse of blue energy spread from the Revenant of Terra, carrying a single line of text into alien space. "Surrender or be erased." The stars seemed to hold their breath. Humanity had returned, and revenge had just begun. The message from humanity spread through the XYRTH Dominion like wildfire. On alien homeworlds, alarms screamed. On military bases, soldiers rushed into formation. Across their empire, leaders argued in panic. For 60,000 years, the Dominion believed humans were extinct. Now, suddenly, an enemy older than their recorded history had returned, stronger, silent, and unreadable. Inside the Dominion's command station, orbiting a black desert moon, High General Virok glared at the hologram of the human fleet. His skin was dark metallic blue, and 4 eyes blinked rapidly, a sign of fear. "These ships," he whispered, "they are not normal." Scientists in the room nodded nervously. "They do not emit heat signatures." No fuel trails. No biological life signs, one scientist said. It is like they are ghosts. Vierock slammed his clawed hand onto the table. No matter what they are, fire on them. Every ship in the alien fleet received the command. Weapons armed. Cannons charged. Missiles locked onto targets. Back aboard the Revenant of Terra, Commander Calder watched the energy signatures spike on his displays. They are preparing to attack, an officer announced. Calder nodded. Expected. The bridge remained calm, not a whisper of fear. These soldiers had trained for this moment their entire lives. The destruction of Earth was not just history, it was personal. Should we fire first? The officer asked. Calder shook his head. No, let them make the first mistake. Seconds felt long, heavy, like the universe itself waited. Then the alien fleet opened fire. Thousands of energy beams lit up space, like a burning sunrise. Missiles streaked forward with screaming plasma tails. Explosions boomed against the quiet void. The attack was massive, powerful enough to destroy planets. But when the smoke cleared, the human ship still stood. Not a scratch. Not a mark. The alien weapons had passed straight through them, as if they were illusions. On the alien command station, shock spread like a plague. Impossible, one officer shouted. Our readings show direct hits. Another scientist stared in horror. They are not using shields. They are not blocking the attacks. They phased space around themselves. Vierock said weakly, Our weapons did not hit them because they were never there. Back on the human flagship, Calder finally spoke. They have chosen violence. We respond. The order carried no anger, only certainty. Human ships shifted formation. Their black hulls glowed with intricate silver patterns, like veins of living light. Small drones detached from their surfaces, forming silent rings around the fleet. Humanity was done waiting. Calder gave the command. Fire. A single beam of soft blue light shot forward, not loud, not explosive. It touched the nearest alien battleship. Then silence. Suddenly the alien ship broke apart. Not with fire, but as if time itself unraveled. The massive warship dissolved into dust and disappeared into space like fading mist. Gasps echoed across the alien network. What weapon is that? Vierock whispered. No one answered, because no one knew. Human ships fired again, and again. Each shot erased ships instantly, cleanly, like deleting files from existence. There was no explosion, no debris, only nothing. Within minutes, more than half of the Dominion fleet was gone. No screams, no escape, only quiet destruction. Finally, Calder opened the channel again. This is your second warning. Surrender now. Humanity does not wish to destroy more life, but we will if forced. In every alien city, every base, every vessel, leaders hesitated, torn between pride and survival. But pride was powerful. Vierock snarled, We do not bow to ghosts. He ordered all remaining ships into full war formation. Calder watched calmly. His final words before the next phase began were cold and steady. Then you have chosen extinction. Human weapons charged. The war had truly begun. The battlefield was silent now. Silent in the way a graveyard is silent after the last scream fades. Most of the alien fleet was gone. The few remaining ships drifted in formation, engines trembling, weapons armed but wavering. Fear had taken command where strategy once lived. On the human flagship, Revenant of Terra, Commander Ashen Calder watched the last alien ships hold their position. His eyes traced their movements, not with hate, but with something sharper. Purpose. An officer spoke. Commander, enemy fleet density is below 10%. They cannot resist us. Calder nodded, but he did not order the final strike. Not yet. Prepare ground teams. It is time to face them directly. The officer hesitated only a second before responding. Yes, Commander. Across the human fleet, soldiers prepared. They wore armor that looked like living metal, smooth and seamless. Their helmets showed no eyes, only a faint silver glow, cold, emotionless, unstoppable. These soldiers were not like the humans of ancient Earth. They were stronger, smarter, and connected through a mental network. When one learned something, all learned. When one remembered pain, all remembered pain. They had been born for this moment. The moment Earth would be avenged. The moment justice returned. The first landing zone was a city on the alien moon below, a dark place with high spires and metallic walls. The city streets were filled with terrified civilians and soldiers who didn't know whether to fight or run. A blue portal opened in the center of the city. Humans stepped through, not running, not shouting, walking, slow, steady, and sure. Alien soldiers fired in panic. Plasma bolts, rail rounds, energy bursts, all shot toward the human troops. But every attack passed through empty air. The humans were phase-shifted again. Then, without speaking, they returned to full physical form. A single soldier raised a hand, not holding a weapon, just gesturing. A small device activated. Suddenly, the sky above the city lit up with a massive hologram. It showed the destruction of Earth, not from human recordings, but from the aliens' own memory archives. The hologram replayed, the alien fleet arriving, cities burning, children crying, mountains cracking, oceans turning to steam, Earth breaking apart. The civilians and soldiers below watched in horror. Many had never seen the event so clearly. Some did not even know their empire had committed such an act. Now they could not look away. A trembling alien soldier approached the hologram, eyes wide. "This is real?" A human soldier answered, voice calm, almost gentle. "Yes, this is what your empire did. This is why we are here." The alien collapsed to the ground, overwhelmed, not with fear, but with guilt. Across the moon, more cities experienced the same truth. Each landing team activated holograms. Entire worlds were forced to face the memory they had buried or ignored. Some aliens became angry, not at humans, but at their leaders. Some dropped weapons. Some cried. Some begged for forgiveness. Inside the Dominion command chamber, High General Varrock watched the reports and felt something he had never felt before: doubt. "These humans," he muttered. "They do not simply want our death. They want our understanding." But another officer, face twisted with rage, shouted, "We must fight. The Dominion bends to no one." Varrock looked at him, and for the first time in his life, felt old. Slowly, he whispered, "Maybe this time, bending is the only way to survive." Back on the moon, Calder received mixed reports. Some aliens resisting, some surrendering, some begging for peace. Calder stared at the hologram of Earth one more time. A small, painful breath escaped him. "This is only the beginning," he said softly. He turned to his soldiers. "Retrieve the one who ordered Earth's death, the architect of genocide. He is out there, and he will face us." The hunt would now begin, and no part of the Dominion could hide from humanity. Deep inside the XYRTH Dominion, hidden beneath layers of defense, old technology, and forgotten archives, lived the one name every human wanted: Zalvor, the architect of genocide. He was the one who ordered Earth's destruction. While others debated, he gave the command. To him, destroy humanity was not war, it was an experiment. And now, after 60,000 years, humanity had found him. A small human strike team moved through the Dominion's last fortress, an ancient structure built from black stone and strange metal bones. It felt less like a building and more like a tomb. Commander Ashen Calder led the group. His footsteps were soft, calm, almost quiet. But every alien soldier they met felt his presence like a heavy weight pressing against their mind. Some attacked, some surrendered, most simply froze in fear. Finally, massive doors opened, revealing a dim chamber glowing with weak blue lights. In the center sat an old alien figure attached to machines. His skin was cracked and pale. His eyes glowed faintly. He looked weak, but not afraid. "Zalvor." He lifted his head slowly. "So," he said in a low voice, "the ghosts finally arrive." Calder stepped forward. "We are not ghosts. We are survivors." Zalvor's lips curled into a thin smile. "Survivors? Yes. I expected this eventually." Calder narrowed his eyes. "You expected us to return?" "Yes. Zalvor replied. Humanity evolves under pressure. When faced with destruction, you adapt. You build. You improve. You refuse to die. He laughed softly, the sound hollow and sharp. That is why we destroyed your world. You grew too fast. Too unpredictable. Too dangerous. Calder's voice remained calm. So you killed billions. It was necessary, Zalvor said coldly. Every empire in history has done the same. Remove the threat before it grows. Calder stared at him in silence. Zalvor continued, voice trembling with age but still sharp. And look at you now. You are proof that I was right to fear you. A human soldier nearby stepped forward, anger rising, but Calder raised a hand, stopping him. We are not here for rage, Calder said. We are here for truth. He looked directly into Zalvor's ancient eyes. Do you regret what you did? The room grew still. Zalvor did not answer at first. Then slowly, he smiled. No. The single word echoed. Cold. Final. Calder inhaled slowly. Then we will not show mercy. Zalvor shook his head. Oh, Commander Calder, you already have. Calder frowned. What do you mean? Zalvor looked tired now, not physically, but emotionally, like a being who had lived too long. You did not destroy the Dominion. You showed them their history. You let them remember. You allowed choice. He leaned back against the machinery, keeping him alive. That is not vengeance. That is hope. You are trying to save the galaxy from becoming what I was. Silence filled the chamber. Calder spoke again, voice lower. You will be taken to trial. You will answer for every life taken. Zalvor laughed again, weak, bitter. You think punishment matters? History already decided my fate. I am the villain. You are the avenger. His eyes narrowed. But be careful, human. Empires built on revenge often become what they hate. Calder did not respond. He simply turned away. The soldiers restrained Zalvor and prepared transport. Before they left, Zalvor spoke one last time. Tell me something, Commander, now that you stand victorious. Will humanity rebuild Earth? Calder paused. Yes, he said softly. We will rebuild it, and the galaxy will help. Zalvor closed his eyes. Then perhaps there's balance. The chamber lights dimmed as the humans departed. The architect of genocide was captured. But the war was not over. Not yet. Humanity now faced its final test. Revenge or renewal. The galaxy watched in silence. The war was over. The XYRTH Dominion had fallen. Not through destruction, but through truth. Their weapons could not stop humanity, and their pride collapsed under the weight of their own history. Commander Ashen Calder stood at the bridge window of the Revenant of Terra, watching stars drift across the darkness. In front of him floated a world, broken, burned, and quiet. Earth. For the first time in 60,000 years, humanity had returned home. The planet looked wounded. The oceans were gone, the continents shattered, and the surface was glass black from the ancient attack. No birds, no trees, no wind, only silence. But this silence was not death. It was waiting. Calder spoke softly, almost like a prayer. We are home. Across the galaxy, billions watched through broadcasts. Humans from distant colonies, allies, former enemies, all waited to witness what would happen next. Then, Calder gave the command that humanity had waited millennia to hear. Begin restoration. The fleet moved. Dozens of enormous machines descended from orbit. Terraforming engines, atmosphere generators, biosphere seed carriers. Human engineers, scientists, and soldiers deployed across the dead land. The first machine activated. A bright column of green and blue light shot into the sky. Clouds began to form. Moisture returned. The smell of rain, real rain, spread across the surface. Others followed. Earth began to breathe again. Alien builders from the Dominion, now under treaty, worked beside humans. Some bowed in apology. Others worked silently, haunted by what their ancestors had done. But none resisted. Calder oversaw everything, making sure Earth returned slowly and correctly, not rushed, not forced. Restoration was not just rebuilding land. It was honoring memory. Weeks passed. Grass covered the black soil. Oceans returned. Air warmed. And then one morning, the first bird took flight, small, blue, and delicate. Soldiers and scientists stopped working and watched it cross the sky. Many cried. Humanity had seen war, extinction, loss, and exile, but now life returned. Calder walked to a stone circle built at the exact center of the restored land. There, a massive monument stood, white stone polished smooth, engraved with simple words. We survive. We remember. We rebuild. Beside it stood Zalvor, no longer restrained, but guarded. His trial was set. But Calder had allowed him to witness this moment. Zalvor spoke quietly. You rebuilt faster than I expected. Calder did not look at him. We learned long ago that destruction is easy. Building is harder. Building means responsibility. Zalvor's weak voice trembled. And forgiveness? Calder finally turned his head toward him. Forgiveness is earned, and it takes time. A silence settled between them. Not hostile, not friendly, simply real. Zalvor slowly nodded. Perhaps this is what power should look like. Calder said nothing. He simply placed the final stone onto the monument. Tradition completed. The galaxy broadcast the moment everywhere. Humanity, the species once erased, had reclaimed their birthplace. Calder raised his voice so it could be heard by every ship, every colony, every world. To all who listen, let this be known. Humanity does not seek domination. We seek balance. We seek peace. But if any species chooses war, if any species chooses genocide, know this. His eyes burned with strength older than nations and deeper than memory. We will return. We will endure. And we will never again allow our home to be taken. The galaxy responded with silence. Not fear, but understanding. Earth slowly turned beneath him, blue oceans shining once more. Humanity was no longer the hunted. They were the example. They were the survivors. They were the warning. And for the first time in 60,000 years, they were home.